You just paid $52,000 to make a parody video, but that's just a drop in the bucket. Congressman Issa, chair of the House Oversight and Reform Committee, is investigating the Department of Veterans Affairs for spending $5 million. Yes, $5 million on two conferences in Orlando, Florida last year. We spoke with Congressman Issa. Congressman, nice to see you, sir.
Well, nice to be back on, Greta.
All right, okay. Another spending by our federal government, this time $5 million, two conferences, including that $52,000 for that patent impersonation video for, I guess, for HR representatives. How did this happen?
It happens the same way it's been happening throughout government. Government doesn't respect your money. There's a culture in government that, they deserve to be treated like, quote, the other people. And it's one of those changes that has to happen across government, and it has to start with leadership at the top. Clearly, General Shinseki, Secretary Shinseki, needs to get on this at veterans, but there needs to be real change at the very top in how we fund these things and what the expectation is for men and women in all parts of all cabinet positions, because GSA isn't isolated, the VA isn't isolated. This is something that keeps happening, and it's going to keep happening until the culture is changed.
All right, so there are these two conferences down for HR in Orlando, and among the costs is $84,000 for promotional items, including highlighters and hand sanitizers. I don't have the rest of the list, but that's pretty stunning. Meanwhile, there are 558,000. There's a backlog in Department of Veterans Benefits Administration, backlog in claims. So while they're off going to this conference, we've got all these vets who have claims that aren't even being looked at because of the backlog.
Well, exactly right. And let's remember that, our men and women in uniform, our active duty military, when they want to further their education, they go online in most cases. They're taking courses from Afghanistan over the internet. So it's not like the Veterans Administration couldn't do an awful lot of this without the cost of hotels, grab bags of goodies, helicopter rides, free alcohol, and lots of other things that have gone again and again, either with the conferences or with those lucky individuals that get to go around the country and pick out the place for the next conference.
All right, you want to know I think is outrage upon outrage is this. As you mentioned, General Shinseki, he has ordered an outside independent review of the training policies and procedures and the execution of all training conferences and ethics training for the conference planners. Why first of all, it seems common sense you don't waste the taxpayers' money on something so silly as a conference when you've got a backlog of almost 600,000 claims. But why does he have to go outside and spend more of our money to review something that the rest of us just know isn't right?
Well, I've known Rick for a long time, and I think former General Shinseki doesn't have confidence in his own people to, in fact, fix the culture problem. It's got to be frustrating for him.
Just say no. Don't do it. Don't let anyone authorize these conferences. Why do we have to go outside to find out it's wrong to spend $84,000 on highlighters and hand sanitizers so a bunch of government employees can go to Orlando and take helicopter rides and go to a conference? How can that possibly need an outside review? Who doesn't know that that's just wrong?
Greta, I'd like to see more outrage across government. The one thing that I'll say, and I'm not defending anybody, including General Shinseki, but let's understand, and I've talked to him personally, his challenge is not that there aren't rules against waste, it's that there's a culture of waste. And this is part of what President Romney is going to have to change in government. We're going to have to change the culture in addition to the rules. Part of my problem is there's a culture of not providing transparency, which makes it harder for us to see the waste. When we finally see the waste, there's typically a cover-up.